No, this really isn't clickbait. This is actually a real thing. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dan Hill. In case you guys are new or you've already been subscribed, you already know this. But today we are making a very chilling kind of video. Basically, a few months ago, I watched this documentary and I think it's based on a true story, but it's just scary to think that if this was actually real, imagine something like this. You'll see when I tell you. So there's this filmmaker named Glenn Payton. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. He made this story about this guy named Mark, who is a very, very wealthy guy. He was a terminally ill man who wanted to die in his own terms, pretty much. And instead of taking like a lethal injection, which is basically a shot or something like that, or pills or something to kill him, he decides he wants to take his money and build a roller coaster that would literally kill you. I guess it's called cerebral hypoxia. I probably said that wrong, to be honest. It basically suffocates the brain, ensuring a horrific death. H positive. I was trying to decide if I was gonna make this a reacting video with like the video clip on the screen. So I'm just gonna include random snippets in here of this actual documentary, and I will also link it down below so you guys can check it out. This is just so crazy though. Could you imagine going on a ride where, now I don't know if this is just sick and twisted or this is actually a genius thing. I mean, I guess theoretically this could work for people who wanna end their life. I guess a joyful way you could say, even though it's really not joyful. So I'm just gonna put a little snippet right here. Roll it.
So what are you supposed to say when someone stops the world that you are almost spinning and says you're going to die?
Say that your life flashes before your eyes. A series of quick snapshots that define you throughout your life. What a miserable cliche.
I know what you'd do. You'd lie down and die like a dog.
There are places I could go. Count back from 5. Close my eyes. Good night, Vienna. It's too sterile. There's no flair to it. When I die, I don't want barbiturates in my blood.
I do have to say the filmmaking in this is totally exceptional. The guy, filmmaker Glenn Payton, shout out to you. This is an amazingly well done film. Now, I read somewhere recently that I think the guy had this whole idea, this crazy rich guy. I think it's based on a true story, or somebody took that story and they were actually trying to recreate this roller coaster. And obviously it's not gonna get ever made because I don't even know in any state or country that they could somehow get a roller coaster passed that literally kills people on it. I would have to be under so many like circumstances. I don't even know how that would be possible.
He built it for me, but others will follow. This will be my legacy.
510-meter drop, 220 miles per hour terminal velocity, inflicting 10 Gs of force. Do you know what that does to the human body? Prolonged cerebral hypoxia, pure euphoria as the brain is starved of oxygen. Then 7 inversion loops truly put the nail in it, just as an insurance policy. What's not to like?
So as you saw, it obviously has to do so much with mathematical stuff because you can see the ride drops and then there's all of these loops and they get smaller and smaller.
Anyone with an ounce of good grace would be queuing up to take this ride. But they will remember me as the first.
I made my mark on the world.
Theoretically, if you guys have ever been to an amusement park, this all makes sense because when you go in that loop, you kind of get a head rush. But imagine going down a 200-foot drop, like they say, and then just going through all of these loops. And I guess you're going so fast after that drop that you actually just die in like the first or second loop. you'll already be like knocked out and unconscious. It's really mainly just because there's so much G-force on you, and that causes, you know, blood circulation to the brain just gets completely cut off and you can't breathe. Completely crazy, right? Now, my question to you guys is, would you ride something like this? This is kind of a dark and twisted thing to ask. Obviously, I hope most of you guys say no. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with this? If something like this was actually legit made, do you think people would ride this? Personally, I would say, yeah, I think people would, because people would just see this roller coaster that can, you know, apparently kill you and try and do some crazy stunts to try and survive. And then on the other hand, I think there would be people who wanted to actually end their life, and they would, you know, ride this roller coaster because it's a kind of a happy ending to ending your life. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a different kind of video, not a reaction video. Oh my gosh, it wasn't a reaction kind of video for once in the last week. If you guys did, please slap a like down below. I'd really appreciate that, guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Deuces.